There's a lot of turmoil in the world and in the market. So let's take a few minutes and look back on the week that was and on the week that's going to be on this edition of the Video Market Update. So markets quietly have come back. Despite the conflict in Israel, markets rallied earlier last week, and the potential for added turmoil in the Middle East has not had any measurable impact on the markets yet. The producer price index came in hotter than expected on Wednesday, which didn't seem to faze the market, but they'd had enough by Thursday, even though the latest consumer price index, or the CPI, was below expectation. So what's the issue? The problem is core CPI is the Federal Reserve's preferred measure of inflation. Plus, the realization that Israel will need to do to rid the world of Hamas and the potential for a wider conflict did send markets tumbling. But things settled down somewhat on Friday. While the markets drifted downward, we've somehow managed to end the week with a gain despite all of the inflation and all the geopolitical instability that's in the market. The other thing that we looked at is the Fed is signaling that they're going to be dovish, but retail sales came in hotter than expected, meaning Americans are still spending and spending quite rapidly, which may force downward pressure on the Fed to feel like we need to raise rates. We know they said they would raise rates, but there was some question of whether or not they would go through with it. So that's a little bit about where we've been the last week and a half. So coming this week, there's a lot of news that will come out of the Fed because many of the Fed governors are speaking. And when they speak, they tend to give us some good information. Now, when I say good, it doesn't always mean it's good as far as how it's reacted by the market, but it does provide data, and this Fed has claimed to be very data heavy. The other that we're looking for is earnings. Earnings season is kicked off today, especially, and into the rest of the week. If earnings come in positive, that's a good sign for upward trend in the market. If earnings come in soft, that might go to this fear of impending recession. So turmoil in the market, turmoil in the world. There's certainly a lot going on, but the market to this point has seemed resilient. We'll continue to watch for it and give you any updates. As always, if you see anything that you have questions on in the news or that you read about, let me know. But if not, as always, I hope you make it a great week.